Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Starmade. If you remember, we have been working on the mothership booty in a previous episode, and today I want to continue fulfilling the booty's functionality, which is, as weird as it sounds, the entrance to the hangar bay. Now, what I would like to achieve today is set up some kind of a system which will open up this door automatically if there are still hangar slots left to dock onto, and once all the docking stations are busy or occupied, the hangar door will close automatically again. So this hangar door will only be closed when we have all of our ships aboard. Also, we want to have a really nice effect while the thing is actually opening, plus we want a bunch of really cool looking docking stations on this level. So that's exactly what we are gonna do in today's episode. I already prepared a bunch of activation modules and delay signals. I still have over 6,000 plex doors. I do hope that is going to be enough. But anyway, I believe for the effect of the door opening, we are just gonna add a bunch of logic blocks right here. We're gonna do this in a similar fashion as with the effect we have on the cannon by placing one activation module and one delay signal. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. I don't think that's necessarily gonna be enough, but we're still gonna hook them up, each one to the next. Yeah, so now if this one here gets activated, it will cycle through it until all of them are activated, and if it gets deactivated, then we're good too. Okay, so let's see, this thing is about 30 in height, a little bit more. So what we're actually gonna do is make the door shut from the bottom and the top and actually join together in the center. That would be cool. Okay, so from the bottom to the top, it is exactly 33 blocks. So the 17th block, I believe, theoretically should be the center. So we can place maybe another plane right here. Let's actually test this out. We're gonna place a block right here. Yeah, and the other one has been placed right there, so that is good. So we have to start on the very edge right here. Okay, since the whole thing is 33 blocks, we are going with a 5 blocks iteration. So there's gonna be 5 blocks adding up to the door. This first activation block is gonna be responsible for the first row. So let's actually go ahead and place stuff. We need to start right here. There we go, and we should have them over there and on the top too, everything hooked up, of course, which is great. And we're gonna have to see this through all the way to the center. And oh my, look at that. I don't think we are gonna have enough door modules. I haven't been on a shopping tour for quite a while, I think a bunch of episodes, so it wouldn't be too bad to go on a tour for once. Theoretically, I would like maybe 3 tubes, so one on the outside, one in the center, and one on the right, where we can park like 3 ships in a row or something like that. So this hangar door will be divided up into 3 rooms, which are only accessible through the booty. Okay, anyways, this first activation module is done. Let's actually check it out. Right now it is on, and if we set it off, then yes, it will be off. So let's go ahead and select the second activation module, and we're gonna keep placing those hangar doors, and hopefully this will result in a nice effect in the end. Okay, cool, the second one is done as well. Let's select the third activation module. So maybe we'll go with a height of 4 for this one, and then with a height of 3, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's place those bad boys down. Okay, so we have 3 switches left. So I think I'm only gonna go with 2 more iterations. We're gonna remove 1 activation module. And looking at this, yeah, we are gonna run out of plex doors. But it was actually a close call. We almost made it, I think. 80 modules left? Oh no. Well, okay, that was all I had, at least on my mothership. So maybe if we are playing this smart and already plan ahead, we can distribute the modules so that I have enough. Now, as I said, I want to kind of divide it up. So if we took like a bunch of modules from here, made it something like a pillar, then we would have a entrance right here, an entrance in the center, and one on the right side. So I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a big entrance for 2 bigger ships, or maybe 3 bigger ships in the central area, and smaller ships on the outside. So what do you think? What should we go for? Maybe about this size? Oh no, that is way too much for the center. Let's try to remove some blocks right here and have a look at it again. Okay, yeah, that's much more like it. So we have like space for smaller ships right here and larger ships right there. I'm actually gonna make the pillar a little bit thicker, maybe about 5 thick. Oh yeah. Cool. That gave us another 328 modules, which was enough to finish this row, but I highly doubt we will be able to fill up the center. We're gonna select this module and we are gonna remove those last 2 guys, which we don't need anymore. And now we just have to see whether or not we'll be able to fill this up. I would highly appreciate it. 16? No, we don't have enough. Okay, let's see. Maybe we can make the pillars a little bit more interesting. Like if we gave them a little bit of a shape. We could, for instance, remove the edges right here, which will give it a more interesting shape. And we have an additional 96 blocks. You have to know the tricks. Gonna fill this up. And how about that? That would make it even more interesting and pillarish. Ah, we don't have enough again. Okay, so next mission, to make it even more interesting, we're gonna remove yet another bunch of blocks like so, and we're gonna pillar this out a little bit. Okay, how about that? Do you like that? That would be enough to actually finish it. I just hate going to shops. Well, we could have possibly produced a bunch in the factory. Okay, oh man, this is gonna be great. We're gonna make like a 3-dimensional pillar out of this somehow. So I think in order to test this whole contraption, we're just gonna add a temporary activation module right there, and we're gonna link that up to the first logic block right here. No, I selected it again. Select and V. There we go. Okay, so now I should be able to open and close this. Oh, yeah! And close. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. It looked a little bit wonky, maybe because we were too far away from it, but this shall do the tricks. Now, I'm kind of tempted to outline this with crystals, you know, just to see how it looks like. Yeah, how about that? I actually think it does fit or suit the theme. So now we're gonna go with black hole, but we're gonna outset it by 1 block. Okay, set and done. There's just 1 block that I forgot right here. Oh yeah, that's so much better. And now we need to give it some nice colors. Maybe a white armor strip. No, I don't think so. Maybe we have to connect them. Also not good enough. Not good enough. Okay, how about that? I do like that a lot better. So maybe if we exchanged this block right here, then it would look a little bit more finished. Yeah, how about that? I really do like it. We can now actually continue with the hangar functionality. We're gonna need a bunch of docking ports. We're gonna need more activation modules, and we're gonna need an AND gate, because obviously the AND gate is gonna be required for my plans that I explained in the beginning. So let me prepare a bunch of things and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I have been working a tiny little bit and I think everything is coming along so far. By a tiny little bit I mean a huge amount. I basically divided up the 3 areas of the hangar. Here's one of the small areas. Over here we have the larger area, and over here another small area. Of course it's symmetrical. I also prepared a bunch of pathways, and right here within the walls we can still have a bunch of modules, which is pretty cool. I also realized in order to save up a bunch of crystals you could go with a crystal and then a white armor block. and they almost look the same from afar, and you can save up a bunch of crystals this way. But nevertheless, I also installed a little bit of logics to those gates. Now if we have a look in this center bit right here, we can see that the red lamps currently are on and the green lamps are off. Now what is interesting about this contraption is that I have used an area trigger activation module, and I have connected it up with those controlling modules, as you can see here. So whenever a player or a ship goes through this bit right here, then this activation module will activate this guy right next to it. You have to place an activation module next to the trigger module in order for it to be functional. But anyhow, this activation module will then activate the green lamps, and on the same time this NOT gate. And of course, finally, this NOT gate will activate the red lamps. So the red and green lamps will be toggled whenever something goes through here. Now of course this system isn't fail-safe. If something goes through here while there is still a ship attached to the docking station, then the lamps will still switch, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's more or less immersive, I would say. So why don't we give this a test run, and I'm actually gonna leave this build block, which I have temporarily installed here, and we are gonna enter this ship core. Right now the red lamps are on, which means there's already a ship parked in this station. So let's undock, and we're gonna drive backwards through the trigger area, and now you can see the green lamps are on, and therefore another ship can go ahead and park, and we can go back inside of it. And we can of course dock onto that, get out of the ship core, and now theoretically the red lamps should be turned on again. And this is how the whole system works. Okay, so now you have to imagine we are gonna build another docking station right here and a third one over there. So we have 3 ships in each compartment. But right now I do not have the materials for that, so we're just gonna go with 3 ships for the time being, and we're gonna expand as soon as we do get the materials. So in order for this to work, we are going to need an AND gate. Okay, there we go, got one from my shop module. And this AND gate will basically check whether or not any of the docking stations are still empty. So whenever all of these activation modules in each docking station are activated, only then we want to close the door. That means we're probably also gonna need a NOT gate, right? Anyways, let's test this out. I just want to check whether or not this will give off a beam, and yes it does. So we kind of have to place it intelligently. Maybe down here would be a good spot. And then this activation module should also contribute to the AND gate, like so. And finally this one over here. And once we add more docking stations, we just have to hook them up to this AND gate as well. Yeah, I think that actually doesn't even look too shabby. Okay guys, I went ahead and installed 2 more ship cores so we can actually test the contraption, and I just realized that we probably have to add the NOT gate in between. That means instead of the activation modules being themselves responsible for activating this AND gate, we have to hook them up to these NOT gates. Yeah, we can definitely use those. So unfortunately that means we have to break off the connections, and we have to redo the whole thing with these NOT gates. Okay, let's see. We are gonna go through the activation switch right here, and then we're gonna go through again. So we are simulating that we have everything docked, and there we go. The AND gate is actually turned on. That is great. Okay, so now theoretically this AND gate should activate the module all the way over here, this one right there, which we built in the beginning. And there's another connection which doesn't look too shabby, and that now means once we undock this bad boy, drive it backwards, theoretically the hangar door should open. So let's try to do that. We're gonna go through the door, and as soon as we are, yes, oh my gosh, look at that, isn't that oh, I love it, I just love it. Yep, that's what I do. Okay, so now we do have space for ships to be parked here. So we're gonna go inside, we're gonna go through the trigger area, and we're gonna dock. Oh, I missed it. We're gonna dock onto that guy. Check out, yeah, the hangar door has closed and the lamps are toggled as they should be. Well guys, so I'm pretty happy about our accomplishments so far. Of course we will have to do lots of decoration with these walls as well, especially with some lighting effects and stuff. But other than that, I have to say, I do like the logic of those hangar doors. It makes the whole thing look a little bit more interesting once again, and we do have some purpose for it. So maybe in the next or so episode we could go ahead and start planning out a bunch of smaller ships which could take care of various tasks. But anyhow, I hope you did enjoy this episode. Thank you so much for watching, have a great time, and hopefully I'm gonna catch you the next time. Bye bye.